The Tangent 8 podcast is aimed at a mature audience. It contains themes that are not appropriate for all listeners. It's important to note that we are not experts. We routinely have no idea what we're talking about and are just three idiots sitting around a table. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Tangent 8 podcast. I'm Seth, and as always with me are Swoosh and John Doe.
Hello!
Aye.
And, look, it's back to the horrible starts to shows with layoffs, but, and I do feel bad for these people, but, I think we all called this one coming. Firewalk, the guys who were working on Concord, they've been shut down.
Yeah, I don't
Is it
like
really
the fact
surprising?
that they were shut down. They shut the studio down, but it wasn't exactly entirely their fault.
No.
Yeah, it's like...
I'm not blaming the devs or anything at all. I honestly feel bad for them. But, we knew this was coming. I think everyone was just waiting for the shoe to drop. Yeah. It was weird, though. It was getting, shadow updates if people had left it installed on Steam.
Yeah, that was weird. It was getting some kind of updates, daily, too. Because everyone's like, maybe it'll come back. It's like, nope, apparently not.
Well, according to Sony, they explored all options before shuttering it. Which I'm pretty sure was, how does our balance sheet look?
Yeah. Exploring their options didn't go outside the Excel sheet. It's just, no.
But that could have been what some of those updates were about. Maybe they were iterating on some stuff on the back end to try and... Or just pushing updates to something to try it at home. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's another big old pile of developers is out on their asses. And
but even if
they've got to feel bad.
Even if they'd stuck with that game and spent time on it, they actually dumped more money into it to actually get it to a state that
level.
people actually wanted to play it. The name's already been burned.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing they could have done. So that game effectively had to be thrown in the trash, and the only other option was to close the studio, because anything else they produced would immediately be Concord.
I'm assuming a lot of people are going to be leaving this project off their resumes as they look for a new job.
Or, it's kind of like one of those sort of blank, ask me and I'll tell you, but I'm not writing it on this piece of paper thing.
Yeah, I worked for this group. Probably not on Concord, though. Please don't ask. You'd be going into every interview hoping they don't ask about that process.
Yeah, if you were going to put it on your resume, it'd be worked for EA for 6 years. Not, the sub-subsidiary Firewalk who made Concord.
Because, that's the industry we all studied to be in. We know the people in that industry are gossipy bitches. Without a doubt. And that would be the first thing a lot of people would ask in an interview once you reach that, end point after all the formalities done. It's so, you worked here. Did you work on this flop? Because it's what happens in the industry. We pay attention to shit.
But at the same time, I really hope even if they did work on Concord, their environmental artists were great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The characters looked pretty cool. I liked the style. It's just the actual gameplay was shit.
Yeah, and they changed the models a little for the in-game to give them a bit more of a real wet look. Very odd choice. You can easily have a developer who could push that out, do good work, and not have the name tarnished by Concord, because bro, I just made what I was made to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did this thing in the background. It was fine. I wasn't in charge of what the game did. I just made assets. The animators should be fine.
Some of those, the sort of more C-suite level guys who were supposed to look after teams and stuff, they might have a lot more trouble off of the back of Concord.
Oh yeah, the writers and anyone who was higher up in story development or actual game dev.
Well, we never got the story because it was supposed to come out in 2-minute chunks every week.
Oh god.
The only thing they could do is if I'm assuming Sony kept the license to the whole thing.
Likely.
Assuming. The only thing they could do with that is if they did try to reboot it as a single player thing, what people were actually fucking asking for from the get-go.
We were excited.
It's the only thing they really could do with it.
Yeah. Or depending on how because they've still got an episode in that new game TV show anthology thing.
Yeah.
They could theoretically, if maybe that's good, alright, we'll license it out as a TV product.
I mean, if they've already got stuff they're doing in 2-week intervals for story, the chances are a lot of that shit's already pre-done.
Yeah.
They could just compile that, bridge it together, and make some kind of TV show or a movie out of it.
Yeah. It's definitely going to... Some of it's probably already animated and ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how far ahead they'd be on that, but they've at least storyboarded. They said they had a year's worth of content.
I mean, fair.
If they just reskin it and just tag it onto another game, it was already just another skin.
They could possibly make it into a TV show as well.
They could have recouped losses in some way, but I don't think they wanted to.
No. They clearly were like, we took too big of an L on this. I mean, it was in development for 8 years. No one bought it. Or they bought it and refunded it. So EA is going to have made nothing. Like, as far as they're going to consider, even more work on this IP is just wasting money.
I'm hoping they realize that just putting more people onto a project does not mean you're getting a better result, and spending more money does not mean you're going to get a better thing out of it. If they take it as a learning thing, which they might not, they've never taken their learning experiences before, but this is probably one of the more expensive ones. Maybe they'll actually pay attention. But
well, they keep talking about how they're going to take the lessons they've learned and keep bringing it into their live service content going forward, which means their plan to use this sort of game as their main revenue source is not changed.
Just get off live service. Like, obviously it's not working for them. Why do they keep trying to push it? Play to your strengths. Go back to.
They don't even have to get off it completely. They can just reduce it back from the core fucking function of the product. Like, you can have a little bit here and there. Just make a good fucking game that people want to play. Don't just shoehorn fucking spend more money, spend all of your time in this one fucking game.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't need to be like that.
Like, live service is kind of... It's kind of a weird dichotomy, because, like, to have a live service game that can succeed, it has to constantly want you to come back, so it has to have some kind of...
draw.
It doesn't necessarily just... Like, I mean, like, it can't just... Oh, my brain's not working today.
It can't just exist. It needs to, like...
Yeah,
progress.
It needs you to keep coming back to interact with the service.
Yeah. And then the monetization has to, like, kind of flow with it. Like, I know if you look into... Like, I play a game called Warframe.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I brought it up too much on this show. I talked to it about
a lot of spot life. Here and there.
It pops up. When we talk about live service, we normally talk about it because it did live service correctly.
It's the one I know, because I played it for... Gotta say...
it's gotta be close to, like, 10 years or something.
No, I'm pretty sure it's over 10 years, because I started playing Warframe in my last unemployment spike, which was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've been playing for a long time, but if you jump into it now, the shop looks like it's designed to drain money from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just if they've released content over the last decade. But, you know, things like Ubisoft and EA, they cram like a decade's worth of slow creep upgrades day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it feels like you're nickel and diming me, and I'm not like, what's the content? Shouldn't this be in the fucking game and I can go get it?
Yeah. This is, you know, wine and dine us first. Don't just immediately throw us into the bedroom. Like, come on, gotta get something out of this.
Pretty much.
But it's like those JRPGs that launch, like the last couple of Tales games. On day one, there was like 50 other microtransactions, and half of them were plus 5 levels, plus 5 this, plus 8 skills. Like, pretty much don't play the game, just spend the money, and then... Like,
spend the money, bypass this, get to the grind quicker.
Well, you could spend $90 on a mount.
Oh, God. Look...
So this is the latest thing that Blizzard's done with World of Warcraft, is they've released another $90 mount. And I say another because they've done this before.
Yeah.
This isn't even new.
It had to be fucking Blizzard. Like, God damn. But what is this mount now?
It's basically just looks like a large Brachiosaurus type creature with a palantín on the back. Cool robes. Looks like it'd fit into Dinotopia, if that's a reference you get.
Yeah. I do love me some Dinotopia, but not $90 worth of into it, so...
I would probably actually, I think... Sure, I still own those books. Pretty sure I still have the first 2 Dinotopia books too. But those books I would be willing to pay $90 for.
Yeah, those books are fucking gorgeous.
The artwork in those original books was As a kid, I used to just flip through the books and just enjoy them for that alone, let alone the actual story. Damn it! Now I just want to go talk about Dinotopia.
But like the entire thing,
it's just a mount. It's just another mount. But apparently, it's selling quite well.
That's the annoying thing. Like, I will always give shit to Blizzard for pulling this kind of shit. Like, expecting people to pay this much for a in-game mount, a digital thing. But at the same time, I'm gonna have to start, like, yelling at people for doing this. Just stop. Do not buy the $90 mount.
Yeah.
Like, fuck's sake, have some kind of...
They're going to, because some people can't fucking help themselves.
They really can't. And I get FOMO. I've had that before. The fear of missing out is real. But, come on. It's not that important. I could buy an entire another game in Australia, which we already have expensive as fuck games.
Yeah.
But I could buy a decent game for that $90.
Yeah.
But no. Just one thing, one purchase. It's like, nah.
And it's not even in that, like, oh fuck, I just have a little spare cash type of price bracket.
No.
It's like, no, dude, that's like multiple nights out.
I and R about buying $10 STL files for actually, like, printing things. And that means I get a physical copy of something when I print it. And I still and R about $10 for a digital thing.
But it's for WoW. WoW still has a subscription, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're... Fuck it.
No,
It just
it's
blows
free
me
up
away.
until 25. Actually, no, they raised that again, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think it's
But,
like 50.
I mean, given the fact that the level goes up to, like, what, 160 these days, I'm not actually sure where they're at.
I think it's higher now. I think it's like close to 80 or 90. It's been a long time since I've played WoW.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't played since before Cataclysm or before Wrath.
Last time I played was Cataclysm, because I really wanted to see how that would actually change the whole game landscape. I remembered, because I played back in Vanilla?
Yeah. I know the Barrens is now on fire, which makes sense. The Barrens was always on fire, just more...
In the chat.
In the chat, yeah. Fuck, the Barrens was bad.
Baron's chat was the best.
Baron's chat was amazing and also horrifying.
I never played WoW. I never got into it. And I'm fucking glad I never did, because holy fuck. Paying a subscription to play a game just seemed fucking weird to me, so I didn't want to part piece of it.
Yeah.
But having that and then additional cost, like a $90 cost for a fucking mount is ridiculous. Like, how is there not just a piece of the fucking subscription? Like, that's just fucking wild to me. Battle passes are bad enough. A fucking subscription for a game like that is just weird.
Well,
like,
Blizzard's been doing this shit for years. Like, even BlizzCon,
absolutely they have.
If you wanted to get specific mounts, pets, anything that they had, you had to have a ticket to BlizzCon. So they started selling digital tickets so you could get your content. But that was still expensive. Like, we had mates who did the digital attendance, and it's not worth the payment to get these in-game things, but that's why people would do it.
Yeah. I think they had a mount tied to a card you could get in their card game, so people bought the card game just to get the pack, they kept the mount. They've done lots of shit like this. People just forget because people forget WoW exists.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was done. Like, I keep forgetting it's still going.
They've just kicked off a new trilogy of expansions.
Yeah. Like, and they're still one of, like, the most... they make the most money out of all MMOs at the moment, I think. Because their subscription is high as fuck, and they have a lot of people. But, yeah, no, it's still very popular. It's
still only, like, $20 a month, but, like...
Didn't it go up again?
I can't remember. Again, I haven't played since Cataclysm.
Yeah, like, I'm so far out of that loop, I don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
But, God, I'm done with Blizzard. I can't. I just can't bring myself to care.
The coolest thing that I remember them doing was, like, when they had the... I think they probably still have them, the WoW TCG, the trading card game.
Yeah.
And in those packs actually came with, like, some items of the game. You might have got bonus time in the game up to 3 months, or some rare items, which is pretty fun. Yeah. Like, that's a cool way of doing it. Like, to actually tie it across. I thought it was really cool. I haven't seen many other games do that because they also don't have that kind of spread of having a TCG as part of the fucking game.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. Like, I'm a Magic player, but I'll eternally point at Pokemon and go, look at the way they give you packs for the online every time you buy. Magic started doing that now that they've released Arena, but it's like they feel like really behind the 8 ball. Like, Pokemon's been doing it for years.
Yeah. It feels more like a reaction than we're going in this direction. It's like, no, we have to do this. Pokemon's making too much money.
It's getting to the kids.
Yeah.
And it's weird that someone's saying Pokemon's making too much money, not Pokemon saying they're making too much money. Sue them.
No, that's what they're like. They're like an echo in the background.
Yeah.
That's just them. That's reverbing back.
So, the Australian chain of game stores known as EB, if you could even find one that isn't a Zing anymore,
I know of one.
That's because we walk past it at breakfast.
Yeah, pretty much every fucking week.
They've decided that they're going to have a new monthly subscription service,
which is the dumbest thing I've heard in a while.
Yeah. So
okay, cool.
So, for $50 a year, you get buy 10, get 1 free booster pack from the TCG games. Buy 10, get 1 free pop vinyl. Buy 10, get 1 free piece of clothing. Buy 10, get 1 free pair of socks. 5% off digital currencies and content. 5% extra trade-in value, and double carrots. And this stacks with your double carrots from your level.
Can you actually use carrots for anything? I haven't used them in so long.
No, carrots were only to get you levels.
Yeah, they're like experience points.
Yeah.
God damn.
Like,
but it's
when I was mainly an Xbox gamer, I got level 4 of that, and then they brought out a limited level 5. I know they did that for I think it was like 100 of them in Australia, and every year it was like the top 100 carrot, whatever the fuck there was, got offered a level 5 card. And it's like, no, that's just...
Yeah.
We know someone who was pushing to try and get to one of those.
Yeah.
No idea if he actually did.
No.
I don't think he did. But at the same time, with like the pop vinyls and shit, it's like if you're buying 10 pop vinyls, you have spent enough money to manufacture at least like 10 or so of them. Like the markup on those things is insane.
If you go with the nice end of the spectrum and say it was $20 a thing, cool, one of them's nothing.
Yeah. They also, there's like restrictions on how much the free one can be.
Yeah.
And in some cases, the restriction is less than what they would normally charge for base level items.
The main one I know of, this may just be the EBs that are around us, which are quite small. They're like the clothing one, value up to $70.
Yeah.
Most of the clothes I see in an EB are $80 or more.
You can get like t-shirts from them, but they're close to like $45, I think. But at the same time,
but all the like hoodies and stuff are like $80. They're not
minimum.
You don't get them for free.
Yeah.
And if you've bought 10 pieces of clothing merchandise, again, you've more than made the money for EB.
Look, if you bought 10 pieces of clothing from them, you've bought their entire like clothing range of stuff. Unless you're going through trying to collect every single t-shirt. Like, I look at their wall of t-shirts in a Zing, and I struggle to find any that I really want to spend the like 15 to $20 on. It's like, I'm good.
This whole thing, like all of their options, just feel like subscription for subscription's sake, and they couldn't figure out what to actually put in. It's just like if you buy 10, you get a free one. Like fuck Honestly, it, just throw it out there.
It feels like the person who made this, entire system hasn't set foot in their own franchise in a very long time. Like,
but
it's
also,
horrible.
Is this in a single purchase, or is this like over the course of the year?
I'm assuming over
bought
the
10
course
objects.
of the year, but...
They don't say, but if there was anything other than across the year,
that'd be a revolt.
That'd be a fucking joke.
Yeah,
and I knew this was
the subscription cost. Is that you said that was $50 for a year?
For a year,
like $50 for a year. Sure, but you'd have to be actively using it. You'd have to be buying a lot of pop vinyls to make that worth it. I mean, I know people who do buy a lot of
finals. If that's where you buy your booster packs from,
do better.
Yeah, absolutely do better. But I know, like my hometown, that's the only place. The Big W closed down. Target and Kmart are fucking useless.
Yeah.
That if there wasn't for the one like awesome board game shop that opened up, EB would be the only option.
Yeah.
Then I would just be like, buy a box online, bro. Just
fucking oath.
I think this is aimed at kids just to get onto the subscription with their parents' credit cards, forget they have it, and just ride. Like gym memberships.
Yeah, maybe. As you said, I feel like you gotta be such a power user of EB to make this at all worth the fucking money. Yeah, I know it's like $50 over a year. You know, it's not that much per month. But like, you're not getting anything for the $50.
Yeah, like John Doe said, it just feels like subscription for subscription's sake.
Yeah.
You get nothing useful out of it.
Especially because, like, some of this stuff, like, if a coffee place whose entire profit model is based on making me a cup of coffee can give me one every 10, paying you to let me have that privilege doesn't feel right.
No.
Yeah. Like, the fact that you have to pay to get access to maybe get a free thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. This is insane.
And notice that none of these things are, like, discounts for actual games.
Yeah.
No.
It's all things like trade-in, which, honestly, I'm surprised they're still fucking doing. I thought that was gone the way of the dinosaur.
No, not for physical media. You can still do it.
Well, can you still trade in games? I don't think I have any physical games.
My housemate recently traded in his Switch and his games.
Oh, yeah.
But, like...
You get great value for it, but, you know, EB never does.
That's why, do you get $10?
I mean, it's just like, oh, we're going to give you a 5% extra trading value. Dude, 5% more on the $5 you're giving me isn't giving me value.
No. Honestly, that 5% is just them adding lube to the fisting they give you when you return games.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking horrible.
Giving consoles and games to EB is just the easiest option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to... You might not necessarily want to go to eBay or Gumtree and try and get randos to buy it for its actual worth. If you're just like, I just need this gone,
yeah,
EB will fucking take it, and they'll know you'll give it over, so they're not going to give you anything.
Look, I have nieces and nephews in dire need of a Switch before EB games. That's probably where it'll go.
The difference between giving it to EB and giving it to cash converters is 6 of one, half a dozen the other.
Yeah,
these cashies will give you cash for it.
That is true.
Yeah. Not in-store credit.
Yeah.
Fucking in-store credit. Which can only be used on certain things.
Yeah.
But they are being lambasted for this online, I hope. Like, I really hope people aren't taking this.
No.
At the very least, it should have been like, included, like, over the course of a year, buy 10 pre-owned games, get at least one free, or 10 new release games and one half price, or fucking something. Like, God damn.
The fact that none of this is a discount on actual games, you know, the thing you're supposed to sell.
Yeah.
Or at least I remember you used to.
Well, it sounds like it should just be a Zing subscription.
Yeah. This is what this is.
There's nothing there that is a EB Games subscription.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for EB Games to be shut down and Zing just to be the only thing surviving.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
EBs will shrink and Zing will expand.
I mean, they're already shrinking. There's certain EBs around in like shopping centers around Brisbane, but their actual game section is tiny and the rest is just Zing products.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. It's been slowly
There's
over.
a massive EB near me. 90% of its floor space is just shelving of Zing products. And all the games are just along the outside wall, and that's it. It's more about trying to make you walk through a maze of Zing shit.
Basically, yeah. It's one of those things where it's been slow... Like, EB Games has been slowly siphoning more and more product over to Zing over a period of time. And eventually it's just going to be, games are now at Zing. And it would just change the name and drop out of the EB thing entirely. Because let's be honest, they haven't got the greatest of reputations. They've price gouged. They've done some dumb shit. They're always having perpetual sales, which means every time you walk by it, you have to say, "Do you think they're having a sale?"
I mean, that's just the joke you have to make.
It is.
It's not even a joke at this point. It's basically a rite of passage.
It's the same as the going out of business rug sale.
Yeah.
Have you rugged
It's
a
just-
million?
I do like the fact they eventually got in trouble for that.
Yes.
So you can't just keep saying you're closing. Eventually, you have to close down, guys.
I reckon within the next few years, it won't be like EB Games. It'll be EB Zing. They'll drop games off the name.
I actually wouldn't surprise if they dropped the whole thing and just were like, the other name has better brand recognition.
I can see it going Zing Games. Or Game Zing.
Well, because it was Electronics Boutique. So it was never... It originally started off as a fucking a white goods electronics store.
Yeah.
And the games expanded. Because there were no other fucking games markets. And it was EB Games as a section of that. Then they made their own store. And then it just became EB Games over time.
Is it?
It started off as Electronics Boutique, which
No,
they
I
sold.
know. But, like, I could have sworn that, like... that EB is is the outside the US name for GameStop.
It is.
Oh, it is, yeah.
But the section
that
where it came to Australia, it was the GameStop bought the spin-off of Electronics Boutique, which is why it became EB Games.
Because it was easier to buy them out and start up again.
Okay.
That's why it's EB Games in Australia. It's a weird fucking thing. So I remember going to the Electronics Boutique in Newcastle when I was a kid, going like, "Holy shit, this shop is, oh my god, amazing!" And then a few years later, it was just an EB.
We did have a couple of GameStops that came across at one point, I swear, because I remember seeing them somewhere.
We had a lot of game traders randomly pop up, and then they sort of all disappeared as well.
They really did, actually. EB just flexed the muscles, like, get out of our territory.
Well, I think more that, like, game traders didn't really buy stuff. Like, you didn't go and get the newest stuff at game traders. You went there to get figurines and kit shit and, look at the old games they had.
Yeah.
Although they were also fucking terrible about pricing when you tried to trade with them.
Oh, yeah. No, they were worse than EB, and that takes fucking effort.
No, I would say they were better, but...
Depend on which store you go to.
It's still bad.
Yeah.
Because, Game Traders was a lot more picky. They wouldn't take some stuff because they're like, oh, we're not going to move this. We know we've got statistics. So they were more annoying to deal with, but when you got to the point where it's like, we'll take these, it was like, okay, we're getting a better price.
That's fair.
But, I mean, I guess that's why they could give you the better price, because they were doing better filtering. They weren't just, we'll take anything.
We'll take all of the copies of Terminator Escalations.
Go dump him in the desert with fucking E.T.
They can join the pile of Fury DVDs out there.
So, Activision's doing something real dumb with Call of Duty.
But what have they done now?
Again?
No, this is the one where they're selling you better audio.
Oh, that's right. Wait, is this the same game that's like 600 gig?
It's they let you actually download it in pieces now. You can actually only download the campaign. God, there's a fucking stumble for this episode. Every fucking time it sneaks up on me, I'm never ready for it. You can actually download only the campaign if you only want the campaign.
Ah, so only 300 gig.
But they still fucked up the way they deliver it.
Of course they fucking did.
So, I actually... Because it's on Game Pass. It's live right now. I actually downloaded it, but I hadn't actually played Modern Warfare 3, which was also on there. And I was like, sure, I'll grab them both, because now I can just grab the campaigns from them.
Yeah.
When you launch it, you launch the Call of Duty app, which goes through its entire load process, runs a bunch of logos and cutscenes, loads their fucking news page, then you close it, go to the game you want, then the Call of Duty app closes, and then opens the game again, and then goes through all the logos again to get to the main menu of the game you were trying to play.
God fucking, how do they do this?
Which is really annoying, because oh, look, we kind of have to do it this way, because the games aren't connected. Shut the fuck up! Halo did it.
Yeah.
You load up Halo on PC, and if you've got it installed, you just select the game you want and click play.
Yeah.
And it runs.
It doesn't close Halo's app again and open Halo 2. It just lets you play.
Like, if that's the thing, just give me an icon for that game alone. I don't need your launcher. Like, what the fuck?
It's so dumb. I don't know if this is a Game Pass only thing, but like it's really dumb if they did it this way just for Game Pass. It's really bad.
I still don't know why this thing is like so big.
I normally like a Call of Duty. Like I'll run through a campaign just for shits and giggles, and then I'll just dump time in the multiplayer just because I just like running around playing FPSs for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Like that whole Omni movement has just turned me off completely. I've already hated fucking dolphin diving motherfuckers for the last few games. Just annoyed the shit out of me. More and more I hear about this game, the less interest I have in it.
Look, being as big as it is, and I swear to God it's only so they can just be the only game on some people's systems, like, you have no room for other games, go fuck yourself. But the fact of this new audio thing as well, where it's like, you have standard audio, and then you have pro audio. Like, fuck you. It's audio. Do not restrict this behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Essentially, they use some software to custom your audio exactly to your sound setup. So your headphones, your stereo system, whatever it is you're using for your audio, and tune it specifically so that you can more precisely know, instead of having like a cone of a direction a sound's coming from, you can really get that down to a needle point. It's like, that's cool, but like if you just let everybody have that ability for free, that would have been really fucking dope.
Yeah.
And it sort of wouldn't be a paid advantage in your game.
Yeah,
because it's a definite advantage.
There's a point in like climbing the ranks where you're going to run into, you do or don't own this piece of audio tech.
The interesting thing will be, because it's not just like they do that kind of calibration. You can do that yourself if you really want to spend some time doing it. You can fuck with your own settings enough. But it's also certain, like, volume settings are boosted if you get this. So they're boosting footsteps. They're doing a bunch of stuff so you can actually hear it better. It comes in more clearly. And you're going to need that if you're versing certain people. Like, for me, I wouldn't need it because I suck at these games. I die a lot. So it's not going to be very useful for me. All I know is, there's footsteps coming. I'm going to die soon. Neat. But
I don't even usually play with the game noise on. I've usually got an audiobook or something play in my ear. I just I shoot at things that move. If I can't see it, a nose.
We're just T-Rexes. Our vision is based on movement. But the weird thing is, I want to know, when it gets to competition time, is this going to be something that can be included, or is it going to be excluded from competition grade?
Given that generally everything that's available for a game is viable for its competition, unless for some reason it unbalances the whole game, not just a slight player advantage.
Yeah,
is on the table.
Like, maybe, which means that if you're in any way going to do this in some kind of professional or as a pro like circuit, you are going to have to get this. This is a pro player tax.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like I said, sooner or later you'll rise through the ranks on the game board and you'll just hit does or doesn't own this piece of DLC.
Yeah. Because, Twitch snipers are already a thing. Add that with being able to hear you step on a fucking twig across half the map and you're doomed.
Although, speaking of that, like, I have seen so many clips recently of that old guy just sniping people in COD. And
I fucking love that guy. He is amazing. The Gaming Grandpa is, like, my favorite thing that pops up on Instagram.
I just love watching him fucking school people. It's so good.
The thing is, he doesn't just school people. He actually shows people how to do it properly, because he was a marksman back in the army. And it's just like, alright, cool. So, this is your test shot. And he shoots a wall. Like, right, now I know where that is. Which means I can get this fucker right above it. And just pings a guy. Just fucking hell, mate. How are you this good? I just like watching him go from deadpan to just cacking himself as he's shot someone from across the map.
It was good to watch in Battlefield, like when you had those massive maps and you could actually like sort of plink people from 1,000 meters out. It's fucking really good.
Well, you could snipe someone with a log. That was always a fun thing.
So, kind of disappointingly, video game libraries have lost their legal appeal to allow them to emulate physical games collections online.
Which is annoying. I hate this.
Yeah, it really sucks. Like, and they weren't trying to do current stuff. They were trying to do out-of-print stuff. So, they're not selling this anymore. Can we emulate it and put it up for people to look at?
Stuff that would essentially become lost media otherwise. Like,
and that's a lot of it already is fucking lost media.
Yeah. And that's what libraries are for, keeping this information from falling off the face of the earth. And it's like, no, you can't do it because people could use this for recreation. It's like, oh, God forbid people read for recreation as well. Like, what the fuck, man?
But, like, I never understood this fervor they have against, like, we're a library or something like a library. Going, can we share this? No. Well, why? That's the whole point of this facility. We do that.
It's because it's ours.
We're not giving it to people to do whatever they want with.
Yeah, we're just giving them access to play the thing. It's like, no, it's ours. We might want to re-release this in 10 years.
Or, like, they'll do, like, the, we might want to do something with the character, so we don't want you potentially just devaluing it. It's bizarre. I've never heard a good argument about not allowing libraries to do this.
Even that's, we might want to do something with the character later. Like, cool, then get people hyped by giving it to a fucking library so they can play the original game and get excited for that character.
Yeah.
Like, why do they not... Like, I get that they're driven by profit, but there's more profit to be had by not being a shitcut.
It's effectively free marketing. You're letting people play the game and form an interest in the product that you're producing.
Yeah, and you don't look like a dickhead for saying no to libraries being able to get this information and keep it stored.
And given how much video game content we've lost...
Yeah.
I mean, I think we were talking about last week, the Preservation Society and the whatnot, are getting slammed on that sort of stuff. It's just like, guys, this is a medium we want to preserve. Let us preserve it. We're not talking about taking away the stuff you're playing with right now. Let us have the toys you don't care about.
Like, we are in a digital age. We can keep this information for future generations. I don't want to have, like, historians going through the fucking internet to try and find out about games and what we did.
It's very much the kid that doesn't want to share.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
Like, it's my toy. You can't play with my toy because it's my toy. No other reason. It's my fucking toy. And sometimes that kid needs to be fucking slapped.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Ugh.
Hello.
Yeah. if we can't own the games, if we don't own the games with fucking digital licensing, it's not fucking piracy.
Yeah.
God fucking damn.
I love that. Like, that's been popping up a lot recently. I find it quite funny.
So, how about we point a finger and laugh a little bit at good old EA?
I like laughing at EA.
We don't even really need a reason.
They have recently...
Oh no, they're killing Seth!
EA's got him!
What is this?
EA's pulled a Boeing!
Well, just so long as they don't pull a Russian, okay?
You are pretty close to a window.
Keep away from the windows, Seth. Keep away from the windows.
How did my one-story house suddenly become 9 stories tall? So, EA basically has filtered who they want to give review code for Veilguard to only as assuredly as they can get, it seems, people who would give it a positive review.
Yeah.
So, multiple sites that were promised code just never delivered. Including some of the biggest channels that would be covering Veilguard.
Because they know exactly what the game is that they've produced, and they know the reaction that it will have. That's
so they're
trying to beat. They want to like crush the Metacritic so that those early buyers, the kind of people like us, where we're like, oh, wait for the game to come out, see what the reviews have to say.
Yeah.
They want those reviews to be like 9s, 10s, nothing lower than an 8. Make it look good so people want to buy.
At the same time, I really don't go by professional reviews anymore. Because I find people who are writing reviews professionally tend to be skewed towards giving it a glowing recommendation so that they don't, get fucked over later. If I want a review that seems right, I'm going to go on Steam and check out the reviews from actual people. And I'm going to filter it by looking at the mid-range reviews first. Because
maybe you've got a particular reviewer you generally opinion-wise agree with. You check theirs out. The fact that Metacritic is a thing that people care about boggles my mind.
Yeah. Like, back in the day of like movie reviews with was it Ebert and who's the other guy? Two legendary reviewers. They did a lot of movies.
Yeah.
But like you would trust them because they were pretty good at what they did. They walked into whatever movie it was going, right, fuck it, I'm gonna give it a shot. And would come out going, no, I thought it was bad for this reason. And there was always two of them, so they could counterpoint each other. If there is a review, and it's only one person reviewing it, I am already skeptical. I want to get information from multiple sources, which is why I like the Steam reviews. Because it's multiple people going, bad or good, or these things are happening.
You've even got to be careful with that, though.
Oh, yeah, the bots and shit, and people...
Well, it's less the bots, and... you can see something's negative...
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's in Epic Jail. Or it was in Epic Jail. Yeah. And it's just come out, so it looks negative because everyone's review bombed the Epic Jail marks on it.
Yeah.
It's like, even then you've got to check what you're doing. You can't even just go, wow, what's Steam review saying? Positive? Cool, good game. Well, you got to read through everything. Oh, yeah. You can't even do that.
But if I see something that's like mostly negative, I still click on it, A, because sometimes the comments are fucking hilarious, and B, because a lot of the time it's just people having a hissy fit over nothing. It's like, alright, cool.
Hey, Swoosh, those reviewers were Siskel and Ebert.
That's the one fucking...
I was racking my brain for it. Shit, I know it. And I had to think, to run through the lyrics of Bad Touch by the Bloodhound Gang because they're in the first section of that. Like, there it is.
Oh, God. They were good. Back in the
I never really watched their stuff because I didn't have access to any kind of cable package when I was a kid.
Yeah. It's like that and... brain just died. It's all good. There was a train of thought. It derailed. It's gone. No survivors.
Welcome to the podcast.
Happens a lot.
But, bring it back around. Yeah, this seems to be just an absolute ploy of review manipulation.
Yeah.
On EA's part.
It's not the first time they've done it in recent memory, if I'm...
there's not actually been very many times that people have really tried to pull this sort of shit.
There was another company...
And none where it's ended well.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking of a different company, yeah.
The last big one was the Shadows of War thing, where people, when people signed up for it, they could only post positive reviews.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. That's a different thing.
But that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Like I said, it doesn't happen often, but when it happens, it's like it feels so blatant.
Yeah, and you've already put a taint on your game. It's like, well, I obviously can't trust anything that's said about this, and I'm expecting it to be worse than anyone says.
I was particularly curious because I checked out a couple of YouTubers when it launched. What are you saying? And they seemed very negative, and I'm like, that seems weird. The scores are really high on this thing that I keep hearing. And then I find out that this is what happened. It's like, okay.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Cheeky fucks.
I mean...
It's not even fucking cheeky. It's just fucking dodgy.
Yeah.
Just make a good product and you won't have to do this shit.
Yeah. That's the thing. If you make a good product, you don't have to essentially bribe people or manipulate things into doing it the right way or force people to do it contractually. Like, just make a good product and we'll leave you alone. Hell, we'll give you money.
Well, there is the argument to be had that Concord...
yeah.
That's just because we don't like it and the community decided we'd rather go play the games that already exist, that didn't make it not a good product.
Yeah.
No, but it was also, it may have been a good product, but it wasn't a product that anybody wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you can still make a good product and be like, no one actually wants this right now.
No. So, make a good product that people want.
Pay attention to the market. Like, read the room and...
You can make the best game ever, but if the market's already saturated, then...
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, you hear demand for, arena shooters because they're popular. There's so much... Like, I'm not a game dev. I just play a lot of them. Yeah. But there's so much layered in that request as to what people kind of really want, and how they may not even know what they want. I know if you'd ever told me Hero Shooter plus CSGO would be a thing, I'd have told you are a fucking liar.
Yeah.
And now Valorant's a thing.
Yeah. At least just don't take 8 years to bring out a fad game. if it's something that's based on something that's a new hit thing, don't take 8 years. Make a small team, do it well, do it quick.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to sink money into those. A fad game is not that kind of thing. You save the big, groups for new entertaining stuff or new stuff that pushes boundaries, where you need those people to be around. Not for a fucking thing that's going to fizzle out and die.
But then again, they don't think they spent 8 years going, this is going to take.
No, they didn't. But if you also listen to any of the, the behind the scenes of it, they did spend 8 years saying, you can't say anything bad about what we're doing.
Yeah.
You have to agree with everything that we're doing. So, they only shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah. It still sucks that studio got shut down. I would like to have seen them have a redemption arc, but
Well, when we discussed it at the head of the show, we knew that studio was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, boys. We're going to talk about this. Got to keep it together.
We will try. That's all we can promise. There may be a lot of jump cuts in this section of the podcast.
Welcome to 15 minutes from now.
What the fuck are they going to make me edit it around?
Welcome to Reason Seth Hates Us.
So, Catholic Church has released a new mascot that's an anime-style child.
Why? Just fucking why?
Well,
clearly do they not know the internet at all?
No. I don't think anyone does, because every corporation that makes a anime mascot, it gets Rule 34'd and they lose their minds.
Instantly. The jokes that are going to be made. They're all low-hanging fruit jokes. We're not going to make them here because they're too obvious and you've already made them in your head. But you knew this was going to happen.
Learn from the mistakes of Sega and, that generation, Sonic shit. Just don't.
The only mascot that they could have brought out that would have been actually enjoyed and not fucked with too much is Buddy Christ.
Fuck yes. Had they done that, I would
Dogma's
probably
Buddy Christ. That would have been fucking awesome.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure he would be okay with it too. What's his face? I'm forgetting names left, right, and center today.
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith. He'd probably be keen for it. The royalties he'd get, he'd love it.
Oh, yeah.
You could finance more movies. And if I saw Buddy Christ, I'd be, you know what? Fair. I like that version.
That would actually be fucking worth it. That'd be holy, that's actually pretty fucking cool. That's awesome. Considering the amount of shit that Kevin Smith got for releasing Dogma.
Yeah. I don't think he joined his own protests.
Absolutely.
But, it's clearly just a pandering shot to try and make church cool for kids. Well, maybe not cool, but, do the childlike indoctrination
But
thing.
the problem is, no kid is gonna, love to watch anime and then say, oh my god, have you seen the church's, new character? Oh my god, this is awesome. No kid is going to do that. The only people that are going to look at this and spend any time on it are the people you did not want to spend any time on this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing is,
looking at the cast of characters they have here, it really looks like it's shooting for that 2 to 5 year old.
Yeah, it's something bright and colorful to keep kids entertained while the parents are at mass. Essentially, shove them in a room and play this thing.
What's some form of easy indoctrination?
It's basically the church's version of Coco Melon, but maybe slightly more educational than Coco Melon because that shit's horrible. But even now, the church has been trying desperately to get into the new generation of things for a while.
Well, that game was saying a couple of months back.
Yeah, there's a few games of them popping up recently. One of them is Arkcraft, which is essentially you're building the Ark. It looks horrible. They haven't put any money into it. They're just going, oh no, kids like games? We made a game! And it reeks of the old McDonald's website games. Yeah, no, it's bad. They just need to stop. Just stop.
Look, you've got your demo. Just stay in your lane.
Yeah. Your demo is cranky old people. This generation doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. We've killed diamonds. We've killed the fucking wedding industry. You watch. We'll kill this too.
We'll kill religion. We'll make a way for it.
I mean, you just kind of broadening the dead zone where it can't impact it. Eventually, it'll just go away on its own.
At this point, if we finally see the headline of "Millennials Kill God," we win. Our generation wins everything.
Like, I feel like that's the point where we need to realize that this is a simulation and we've just gotten the end zone.
Yeah. We just hit the bonus level.
I was going to say, we've been in bonus stages for a while. Everything feels like a time crisis. It's like,
We just hit our eternal reward.
We just have to keep grinding so we don't die. Get more rings! More rings!
So, something that actually could be quite bad, happening in the States, is some of the drop-off ballot boxes have been firebombed.
Yeah, like, there's been 2, I think. I watched the Philip DeFranco thing this morning. 2 that were done, they think they're linked, but they can't prove anything. But it just shows how fucked things are getting over there at this point. It's that and Trump's, like, really weirdly racist rant he went on recently in one of his, like, rallies in Madison Square Garden. I
didn't hear about that one.
It was on, like, the previous Phil DeFranco show as well, which is essentially him and, who's the weird crypto bro he's got as his second? Wherever his name is. Them just going against Puerto Rico and stuff, and just saying, the garbage.
There's a island of trash in the South Pacific. It's called Puerto Rico.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. And there was a lot of shit, because all the clips that were shown in, like, the Philip DeFranco thing were all from one fucking rally. Like, they
brought up a comedian who decided to do all these hot button stuff.
Yeah. And it's just, no, guys, you're not doing well, but...
This season of America really has to get in contact with some of their older writers, because this one is just... This one went way too far into the reality TV trash bin.
I think someone who's doing the writing for America is trying to get the conspiracy theory out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, they jumped the shark a while ago. It's gone the route of The Simpsons, where every episode is now a Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just a preemptive, like, reboot of X-Files.
Maybe.
Look, the whole of the United States up to this point was just to reboot the X-Files.
Exactly, yeah. It's all a simulation just to reboot the X-Files.
I don't see that election going well, regardless of who wins at this point.
No.
Like, it's going to be so divisive, because Trump's already gearing his people up to be angry if he doesn't win. He's already saying it's going to be rigged. Like, he's been quoted numerous times. Kamala Harris is just fighting an uphill battle against a bunch of crazy people. And her own party isn't exactly helping her much there. They're also a bit nuts. It's just, no one wins. Like, especially not the American public.
Yeah.
I actually kind of feel good that I live in Australia at the moment.
Yeah. Not going to argue on that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to get affected by this, however it slices out, depending on what happens. But I like being in the splash zone more than the epicenter.
Yeah.
The splash zone rather than ground zero.
Yeah.
Look, when it all goes to shit, we just go and rescue Hawaii and, reinstate their kingdom, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Let them have their own republic and people again.
Yeah.
But, oh, man, it's fucked. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I everything I know about the American election is against my will knowledge.
Yeah. Pretty much. It's like that and the Kardashians. Both against my will. I know far too much about both.
But it's just like it's such a spectacle. Like
it is, yeah.
What the fuck?
They turned it into a show. It really is. Just instead of it being an election, it is just reality TV now. It's weird.
I don't know if they just don't realize that these are the people that actually make decisions in your country. Like, these people have an actual effect. They're not just like the coolest kid in school. Like, the coolest kid in school is still a fucking dumbass.
What confuses me is the fact that, like, openly these people will say that they're going to be dictators. Like, why are you backing this person?
Because they want him to be a dictator. They want him to do everything that they think he's going to do.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, oh, he'll be a dictator to everyone but me. He's like, no, guys, he's going to fuck you over too. You're not excluded from this just because you vote for him.
You may not be at the start, but you will be before the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually he'll come for you. The orange tide comes for all. Is this all just like a revenge for the Oompa Loompas? Like, it's actually 3 Oompa Loompas stacked up on top of each other, going against the corporate world because of the slavery.
I mean, at this point, maybe I think the Mayans were just a couple years off, and we should have had 2025.
Yeah, they didn't count all the leap years.
No, they just had the start of the end. That was just this is when it's going to go bad from.
Didn't it go bad in 2016?
Yeah.
Isn't that the decision point? Because that's when Harambe died?
Yes. Harambe was our anchor being.
He was the linchpin of the stability of this universe.
Yeah. Without him, the universe starts to wither and die.
We felt the first real quake in 2020.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of withering and dying, MTV's doing some weird fucking shit recently.
Well, it's not done
MTV
weird shit.
isn't doing the weird shit.
Yeah.
Paramount is doing the fucking weird shit.
Paramount is doing it, yeah.
And the weird shit they did is deleted.
Yeah, straight out gone. That is a lot of lost media, and honestly, the only way we'll have any of it recoverable is going to be because of piracy. People having recorded or downloaded that stuff and archiving.
I don't know how bad I feel about MTV's website going away. The fact that they just kind of offed it is the weird
thing. There was like no lead up. It's just yep, done. It's gone.
Because I'm not going to pretend like I'm going to MTV every day digging through an archive of music interviews. But like,
I mean, this isn't a loss for me. This is a loss for music enthusiasts or people who are like, because people who study music love those interviews because it means that they can go back to, say, like a jazz musician in his prime. Look, these are the things he said. These were his opinions. This is what his music meant to him. Now they can't for a lot of people because MTV had a very large library of those kinds of interviews.
Yeah.
Like, that is a loss for music study. Like, not for us, but...
The M used to be music TV.
Yeah, I remember those days.
I don't, because in Australia we had
Rage. Fucking every Saturday.
Rage. God, being hungover on a fucking Saturday or Sunday morning and just flicking Rage on was just such a good vibe.
Yeah,
that was great.
It's the quintessential I cannot fucking do anything this morning. Music.
What are we listening to? We're either listening to like morning news or we're watching Rage. We're watching Rage.
Yeah, we're watching Rage.
Yeah.
And if I recall, kids' cartoons started directly after it.
Yeah.
So, as you sort of grew up, you sort of shifted from cartoons to Rage.
I remember the golden hour, like all the golden times where it was Rage, and then for a short period of time we had the Ferals, and then it was onto like cartoons. It was great.
No, but where the Ferals was in a show called Recovery TV.
Oh, yeah.
And they also had Monkey Magic and a few other things on a Saturday morning. And like,
Magic.
Yeah. Recovery was like, it's obviously for people coming down from the night before. It's just something chill to fucking watch while your brain resets itself. And yeah.
Here, watch
Recovery TV always
and his friends.
laughed the hell out of me.
Oh, it was great. And it was
Old Australian TV was great.
Well, it was a weird hype for being a kid back then, because like, you get through Rage, we've got some nice music, this is fun. Then you got Recovery, it was like, this is kind of fun, we'll get jazzed up. Basically, they hyped up the cartoons. Like, you get more and more hype as they hit.
Well, that's the thing. It kind of works as this thing where, like, as a little kid, you're just watching stuff on TV until the cartoons come on.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you get to enjoy more and more and more of it.
Yeah. It was weird.
Or being up at, like, 3 o'clock in the morning when Rage first kicks off and watching another artist pick the song that's on there. It's like, particularly if you like that artist or that particular band that were picking songs, it's like, oh, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
Yep.
But we got distracted there.
The good days.
Long and short of it is, MTV used to be about music, and now a very big library of their resources is gone.
The only thing left on the MTV website are Teen Mum reruns.
Yeah. All of their reality TV.
It's the same as like fucking History Channel is now just conspiracy theory.
I used to love the History Channel, and I love conspiracy theories, but I don't watch any of their stuff because it's horrible.
It used to be like World War II and the Romans and like things here and there, and now it's just conspiracy shit.
I learned so much from the History Channel, but that was a weird thing. They started off being a really reliable source, and then slowly became conspiracy theories. Maybe that's why the Americans are also, like, weird. They believe that the conspiracies are now their history.
This is history.
Of course it's history. It's on the History Channel.
They missed Bigfoot by that much.
Fucking hell. Oh, God. The world's on fire. How about yours?
That's the way I like it. I never get bored.
I don't know. I could take a break. Fire extinguisher.
Fucking just maybe deal me into the next hand because I need to skip this one for a while.
Yeah, although we are heading into Australia's fire territories because, you know, it's getting to that time of year where Victoria starts to catch a light and Tasmania points and laughs.
Although, like, if we're lucky, we'll get some solid storms this year and it might not be so bad.
Look, if we're lucky, the flooding from Queensland will wash down through New South Wales and put Victoria out.
I would really like that if they built like 100-foot wall around Sydney and then funneled all the water into it and just filled it, made a fucking large pool.
I'd be okay with just walling them off, but the filling with water seems like it'd be a fun yearly thing. Like the Purge.
I don't know, just fill it with water high enough so the Opera House actually looks like fins.
Yeah. Pretty good. Just make it like a bit of a weird purge. Just slowly fill it, and it's like you have to keep fighting your way up in the high rises.
Well, a real world fucking battle royale.
Yeah. But,
like everybody who isn't from Sydney, if you didn't get it, we hate Sydney.
Yeah. I was born in Sydney, and I hate that place.
Pretty much anyone who lives outside of Sydney.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure the people inside of Sydney also hate it.
I know plenty of people who've left Sydney and are like, fuck Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's an Australian tradition that you hate where you're born as a starting point, but you also hate Sydney. That's just ingrained.
No, you hate Sydney, you loathe Melbourne, or you loathe Canberra. Melbourne's alright on a good day, provided you skip the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tasmanians are weird, but relatively fun.
Yeah.
And then
they
there's
can
New
count
Zealand.
15 relatives on one hand.
New Zealand's just our cool uncle over in the corner who comes to visit occasionally. Yeah.
We do some cool movies with him, and like, we got our backs if things go down.
Look, I sometimes feel bad for New Zealand because, according to the Anzac deal, at any time they can be like, hey, we're part of Australia. But that then becomes binding. Like, it's one of those things like, you can't hurt us, we're part of Australia. Please help, Big Brother. It's like, that's a bad thing to be shackled to. I don't think they're ever going to, like, do that. Can we do that? Can we be New Zealand? Can we join them?
Yeah, I feel like that's the better deal.
We'll just be the Western Island. Like, they got a North and South. We'll just be the Western Island.
Yeah, just the West Island. It's much bigger. Full of weird cats.
Yeah.
And then we just head to New Zealand's mainland. Yeah.
Yeah. I do love the fact that the whole sheep shagging thing between Australia and New Zealand, it just reverses depending on which one you're on. So according to New Zealand, we shag sheep. According to us, they shag sheep. It's like, come on, guys, pick a lane.
It's just more of us to yell.
Yeah. Also, we stole all of their good things and claim it as our own. Like Pavlova.
We made Pavlova.
So I just love we made this thing. No, you didn't. We did. It's like, oh.
You can have Russell Crowe, but we made Pavlova.
Yeah.
I'll take that deal.
We'll give them Russell Crowe, quite happily. He's like... Hell, he could have been born in Sydney. I'd still give them Russell Crowe.
Willingly.
All right.
Just, you're having Russell Crowe.
There's no way around it. He's your problem now. We drop him off of the tugboat in the middle of nowhere. It's like, he's your problem.
No, then he'll be fighting around the world.
Fighting around Unzed.
I'm so sad he never leaned into that and just made an MTV fucking TV show of him going around.
But he did see
matches.
it and actually found it funny. Like, there's an interview asking if he'd seen it, and I did. It's pretty fucking funny. Like, that's cool.
I still love the what was it? Ronnie John's comedy half hour, which actually were now along. The Chopper Reed guy. The actual Chopper Reed saw that and fucking loved it, apparently.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, that's great. Can you imagine the relief from the guy who played the character having heard that. Like, holy shit. It's like, yay! I don't have to dread going to sleep!
Fucking Unky Chop Chop.
Right, we're at past now, so I think we'll wrap things up this week. Y'all have a good one.
Bye!
See ya.